Proverbs 13 verse 22. Proverbs 13 verse 22. Tini Proverbs 13 verse 22. Bazosikhombisa lapha Proverbs 13 verse 22 khona manje. But Proverbs 13 verse 22 is effectively focusing on uthi a righteous man or a good man, shout and say a good man, leaves an inheritance for his children. In other words, uma ungumntwana kaNkulunkulu, uma ungolungileyo, kumele ushiye ingcebo, ungashiyela abantwana bakho, kodwa ushiyele abantwana babantwana bakho. Sizwana bazalwane? Okay, so that's what the scripture is saying. So we're going to be using that scripture as a basis for the next 10 weeks. Now, let's get to it. Let me tell you a little bit of story. In 2004, I bought a business from Nedbank and other people. Nedbank was offloading some of their small businesses. Okay, Nedbank one niggas are for free. They actually said pay R1 because the business was making losses. The other shareholders, I had to pay a few $100,000. That was in 2004. And then in 2010, I sold that business. I cannot tell you the value, but it was in millions and well over 20 times the price I bought it for. I bought it from the other shareholders, from Nedbank, it was effectively for free. From the other shareholders, it was a few $100,000. And when I sold it back to management in 2010, the day, ngikhumbula le date yakhona, kwakumhla 17 June, I was on my way to Wachimesh, a PE, kwangena an offer actually from the management. We want to buy the business. Not the whole business, the shares, because I own the particular shares. What am I saying to you? I want to share how to do those things. How to make sure to touch a business that is not doing well, make it to become financially sustainable. Give you another example. I bought a business in 2012. 2012 is not a long time, so 7 years ago. I bought a business, I'll give you the figure, I bought a business with 10 million rands for 2010. That business in 10 million rands in 2010, I have had offers are worth more than 120 million rands between 2016 and 2018, people wanting to buy the same business. Am I making sense? Okay. Like the latest offer was late last year for 117 million rands. They wanted to buy the same business, which I had paid 10 million rands for in 2012. Isn't that wealth? Okay. But the difference is that money is not in my pocket. Where is it? It's tied in the business. So what have we done? We've created value in the business. Am I making sense? So we've created value in the business so that the business can be worth hundreds of millions. In fact, we have not reached the target. The target that we want to reach by the end of 2021 is to make that business to be worth 250 million rands. In other words, it's going to be $250 million. It's going to be done. Yeah. If I was able to, in 6 years effectively, to grow it from 10 to 120, I'll be able to grow it from 120 to 250 in 2 years. So we want to double it in 2 years. How is it done? That's what you're going to be learning over the next 10 weeks. That's what I want to share with you. Let me give you a quick example. If you you know what is Nhlanhla Khambule as actually the nest. And he has the nest on it. Okay, I want to give you a very interesting statistics, a very practical small business. It's a small business. I said in 2016. No, I'm lying, 2017. If the nest is a crash, it's a preschool. License. And more pagela peasant to Boniluti when a crash in my classrooms out true, in my students out 30. Okay, it's in that business that small business, small business, that crash, izobe worth, uyafuna ukwazi malini? Njengamanje it's worth 0. Okay? But we are building that business to be worth at least 80 million rands over the next 4 years. How? So Khambule, how do you take? Because remember, I had 13 students. No, I had 19 students when in Volleyball 2017, January. And then Babunjo was one of the people of our support. Unfortunately, we had some problems. The students dropped from 18 or 19, I dropped it down to 11. Okay, there's some level of discouragement. I hope you're learning something. The students had dropped down from 19 when we opened to 11 by March. Okay? Last year was our second year. We grew the students to 21. Okay? This year, we maintained the students effectively to 30. But why? Even next year, we just only want 30 students. Why, Khambule? Are you not growing the business? I'm learning. There are 3 things I'm learning. See, I want to sing for this already. There are 3 things I'm learning. I want to understand what pricing can the township market accept. When we started, we charged 900 rand. General manager, we earned 1,090 for a half day. Hope you're learning something already now. I'm just saying for this. And then for those about the full day, Siba charge 1,000. I think it's 1,300. It's 1,285, so 1,300. We are realizing the township market is comfortable. No one is not paying at 1,100. So what are we going to do? Next year, so we use from 1,300 to just about 1,450. Once we've done our lessons next year, so what are we going to do? The 2021, we are opening 6 different nesters. As of the NML learners are between 150 and 200 each. Can you see that should be 1,000 now? Why am I saying that? I am saying that because I can go to any bank in this country and say, I've run the nest, you've seen profitability, it's been profitable, I've got 4 years experience. Remember, at the time we have 4 years experience. What do we want, Tina? Sifuna ukulana into encane, quick, and then once you're into encane, and then you want to become a millionaire overnight. It's not going to happen. Am I making sense? Here is someone who has 23 years experience. I've been learning, looking at the pricing, looking at what are the key things, what are the times. Can you see? It's easier to learn in a smaller environment for the township market than to learn in a bigger environment where sensory sending and is 500. So all the lessons in Mafundayo over 4 years, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, no, next year we are not going to fund 2021, we're opening 6 of them and we're going to have 1,000 learners. Now, Khambule is a tetapi man, I'm sure Susu knows. I can go to any bank. I've got 23 years experience. I've got 4 years experience of running a crash, and I don't have money. I will tell them I don't have cash, but I want to lease and borrow imali kunina to build ikole amakreshi our 6. As I was saying, I would have done my market research. I'll teach you how to do market research. I would have done my market research, etc., etc. I can then comfortably get the money. I can assure you I will get the 20 million rands I need or the 30 million rands I need. Not because in my money, I don't have that money. You know what I've got? I've built a track record. I've built the experience. I've shown them that it works. I've been patient that it works. I'm not rushing money. What am I rushing? Experience, knowledge, and that experience and knowledge will translate into money. Amen. Am I making sense? I'm just showing you something. engifuna ukukhombisa kuyona ukuthi lento oyiranayo, if you keep the books correct, if you make sure you build the track record over time, and make sure ukuthi amabhuku uyawagcina ngendlela okuyiyona, and make sure ukuthi ama-customers akho uyawaservisa, and make sure that you collect the money, bayazi abama-customers lapha in the nest. Uma nje uke kwaphela u-2 days ungakhokhanga kuno-Mrs. B, uyi-customer lapho uke wezwa ngalo. Uma kuphela 2 days nje ungakhokhanga umntwana ujatshela uJason ukuthi ungamvuleli. So we've built a model of collecting. Understand in short, because it's one thing to have 1,000 learners, but if you cannot collect the money, it's not going to help. So I'm asking you to watch, to be patient. Business if don't worry, because I'm going to teach you how to start, how to conceptualize a business, and then how to start the business. I can talk about other big businesses, but I'm which has which only has 30 learners, where I have been patient. Year 1, we lost 300,000 rand. Year 2, we didn't lose anything. This year, we're going to be making 50,000 rand profit. Next year, we're projecting to lose 100,000 rand profit. Sorry, to lose 100,000 rands. That's what we're projecting. So the 50,000 rand this year, so they push it to next year, so that's to cover that loss. But why are we expecting a loss next year? We're expecting a loss next year because we're going to be going out and doing market research and looking at various places. Am I still making sense this morning? Or except so? Except so, what the manager this morning, you know exactly what you're conducting. That is something, that is an opening statement. Now, let me just give you something. Just a few other examples. I have a guy or a gardener. I've made these examples about Khazanachayas. Or in garden. And I said, hey, bro, do you understand what in that I said, yes, Mr. Khambule. I said, well, you're doing that so well. Why don't you open your garden service? Yeah? Do you think I can open my garden service? I said, yes. You've got a license. You've got the skill. You've been doing gardening for so many years, and you can open your own garden service. Fast forward, the gentleman, 4 years later, he now owns 2 parks, and he's serving, no, I'm lying, sorry, that was 2 parks last year. This year he added 1 more park. He owns 3 parks at Durban, and he's now making over 100,000 rands a month. I thought I'm shy as well. Getting away, une skill on us. Unento uNkulunkulu akubusise ngayo. Yini le akubusise ngayo? Le ongakwazi. Let me give another one example before we challenge. I have another friend, a security guard here. He was a security guard at Goli. He's from KwaZulu-Natal, Efrehead. He was a security guard. Wafunda ngoyonisa wenza ibicom. Well, it become degree yakhe uyenza over 6 years because ulefunda part-time ebusuku nasemini as a job opportunity. Njengamanje, he is running one of the biggest cleaning companies in Gauteng. He has over 6,000 people abaqashiwe. These are like real stories. Angikhulumi nge-hypothesis, angikhulumi nge-story ezifabricative, ngikhuluma ngento ngabantu I can bring and say, nangu sibanibani engangikhuluma ngayo, nangu sibanibani engangikhuluma ngayo. Njengoba nizobe nibona in the nest in 3 years' time, igcwele everywhere around the country and say, nayi le nto Khambule ekhuluma ngayo, but umbuzo wami kuwena uhlalele. Uzothola indlela ozokufundisa how to do yonke le nto le. Am I making sense? So you start small. You don't get to 6,000 people overnight. You start small and you grow. You start with a team of 10 people and say, here is my team of people who are cleaning, who are doing this. Let them clean, let them clean, let them clean. Grow, build capacity, build a track record, show the bank, which has obtained, I'm now ready to upscale. Show the clients, which now I'm ready to upscale my business. I've got the capacity. I've run 30 learners, a crash, as at the nest, or a preschool as at the nest. I am now ready to go bigger. Am I making sense? Amen. So the key is to use that which God has gifted you with. Don't try to look what I mean. Ngoba mwenza lokho kwenziwa yimina ngeke uzophumelela ngoba ukopesha mina nesipho uNkulunkulu anginikeza sona. Let me tell you what the Jews say. The Jews athi ukwenza ibhizinisi kuyisibusiso uNkulunkulu. Cela ukuyiphinda le. They actually say doing business is a blessing to God. Igama lesihebheru elichaza doing a store, which is a place where you perform a transaction. Let's hear them. The opposite yalo is evil. So when the Jews grow up, they believe it's evil to not to do business when there is an opportunity. It's a repeat again. Igama elichaza ushop or store in Hebrew, a place where a transaction happens or is performed. The opposite yalo in Hebrew, obviously, wealth, uzocabanga poverty, akuyona poverty. The opposite here is evil. The Jews believe that it is evil not to perform a transaction when there is an opportunity. In other words, it displeases God. I'm not saying as a Christian, that's what I'm saying. The Jews, they say it displeases God not to perform a transaction when someone needs something and I can perform the transaction with no one to know. In other words, if I can sell something to Utabiso, if I can sell something to the brother, if I can sell something to the sister, it is evil if I don't do it. Because they believe Uchukolukolu has appointed them to do business. As I believe that God has appointed every one of you here to do business. I actually want you to take a stand, Nhlanhla. So every opportunity of transacting, I will use it. Shout and say, every opportunity of transacting or doing business. If it is within my skill set, I will use it. Because as the Jews believe, it is evil not to perform. It is evil not among themselves, but they believe it is evil to God. That's not what I'm saying, Mina. As a Christian, I'm not saying it is evil. Please don't hear me wrong. But I'm saying that's what makes them to be successful. Because they always want to perform a transaction. Because they always want to make money from each other. Because they always want to make sure that they create wealth. So the second section, why are people not doing business? Why are people not? Namhlanje ngifuna ukukhuluma nosebenzayo, ngifuna ukukhuluma nosebusinessini already. I want to teach both. Wena osebenzayo, wena osebusinessini ngizokhuluma nawe namhlanje. Noba yithu usasebenza, how do you make sure ukuthi you make money usasemsebenzini? Into eyenza abantu bangapursue ibhizinisi itholakala ku-Exodus 4. La uNkulunkulu akhuluma khona ku-Exodus 3 noMoses. Sibona uMoses in the book of Exodus chapter 3 ebona a burning bush, and then uyathuka uthi hayibo naku ngiyabona ukuthi kunomlilo kodwa akushi. Usiyasondela uMoses uyabheka ukuthi kwenzekani. Uma isondela uMoses lithi iBhayibheli uyabona, and then ukuthi the bush is burning, and then bese uNkulunkulu hey ungasondela ngoba leyo ndawo you know the story. I'm not going to repeat the story, but the point enza ukufika kuyona is ukuthi uNkulunkulu amtshela ukuthi hayi wena hamba uyokhulula abantwana baka-Israel ngoba abantwana bami ngifuna manje bakhulule. Athi hey kodwa mzenza kanjani lento ngoba uyamazi uFaro is a strong man etc athi uNkulunkulu hayi don't worry, I'm gonna make sure ukuthi ngiyakusiza ngiyakulekelela wena ungasabi okwakho is ukuthi. But masufika ku-Exodus chapter 4 verse 10 uthi uMoses Nkosi so usiyaqala manje uNkulunkulu don't worry angithi yabona ube ne-excuse yokuqala what about to fail okay wathi uNkulunkulu don't worry about to fail mina make sure ukuthi ngidila naye usethini uMoses usethi hey but manje it's beyond to fail it's about me ngoba kunabazothi bazoqala ngama-outside forces but hey kodwa imali ayikho mangizokutshela namhlanje ukuthi every good project has money can be funded. Every good project can be funded. What is required is proper experience. Okay? Make sure that you've got the right experience. You prove that experience. You show that experience through patience and etc. etc. And then once you went along, I can assure you every good project can be funded. Shout and say every good project can be funded. Everyone, every good project can be funded. I ain't going to funded. As long as you convince you viable, there's proper market research and there's experience with long but now niggas ingane imali. You're going to say that we'll touch imali, 10,000 rand, niggas will do an experience of that thing. So you want to make sure that person has the experience, number one, that person has the knowledge of what he or she's doing, and then number three, you want to make sure that there's track record, and more importantly, there is a market, and the people listen not posh. Do you think there will be enough clients? Am I making sense? Okay, it may be a very good idea or posh, but I'm also I doubt. Am I making sense? Okay, so you might find one or two people but you must also have done market research to make sure that there is a market yaleyo product yakho oyidayisayo kuleyo area oyi-identifying. Siyazwana bazalwane. So uma ngase ngithi ngifuna ukuzobakha i-crash la embali ezo-charge 5,000 rand per month, do you think nginayo-market yalabo bantu la? Definitely no, which is why we are continuously doing the market research to test what is the tolerance level of the market assembly, because we know what must be the market assembly. So ibamba assembly, so ibamba yakamash, so ibamba eyasenaka, so ibamba Claremont, so ibamba yakadabeka, so ibamba. Am I making sense? So ibamba yaseKhayelitsha, Cape Town, yaseGugulethu, East London, etc. Tanzania, all this very stuff, because once we've proven and their economic level and their age profile, etc., and the health profile, then the market, wherever as a reference point in market.
Amen.
So those are the key things. So don't rush to grow until you've got all the few things in the So uMoses uthini? Uthi uMoses hayi awunayo no, uFaro is a strong man. Ngeke ukwazi ukudila naye. uNkulunkulu uthonwala abantu uFaro. Then the next thing usethini verse 10 chapter 4. Usethi Moses, I am not eloquent neither before nor since you have spoken unto your servant, but Moses, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow. Usiyaqala manje usethi okay, okay, Moses, I can see you are full of excuses. Don't worry, I'll find you someone who will compliment you. But as you come in the story, we are so good. Aaron akazange amkhulumele uMoses isikhathi eside. Ngoba kusho ukuthi uMoses wayekwazi ukukhuluma but inkinga wayesaba. Wayengenayo confidence yokuthi uzokwazi ukukhuluma naye. And wabona wayengenalo nethemba lokuthi uNkulunkulu akwazi. And you know what is funny? Is uNkulunkulu akasho ukuthi I think you are eloquent. As I accusation, I was okay, it's fine. I'll find an alternative. But guess what? As isikhathi siqhubeka, Moses became eloquent. As isikhathi siqhubeka, we don't hear of Aaron interpreting or relaying the message on behalf. We don't really. So as isikhathi siqhubeka, Moses built up the confidence. So this thing of speaking to people was already inside of him, but it had to be discovered. Njengoba nakuwena ikhona lento yebhizinisi, but iproblem ukuthi uyasaba and nama excuses yokuthi wayengaqala. Wena usebenzayo umbuzo wakho, so why are people not starting? Umbuzo wami there are four things engifuna ukukhuluma ngazo namhlanje bese nginikeza ama-business ideas. One, we undermine our capabilities as a people. siyazicwasa thina asidingi nokuthi sitshelwe abantu ukuthi asikho good enough. Thina ngokwethu njengoMoses akatshelwanga u-Aaron uMoses ukuthi akekho good enough. Asizwa umkhwe wakhe emtshela ukuthi akukho good. Asizwa unkosikazi wakhe, asizwa anyone emtshela uMoses ukuthi azothi we are not eloquent, but sizwa uMoses ezisho yena ukuthi I'm not eloquent enough. I-problem yethu enkulu yokuqala is ukuthi sizibukela phansi thina. Number one, we undermine ourselves. And in undermining ourselves, we are unable. Let me tell you, I want to go to a conference. Because I'm not prepared, I'm not I'm wasting your time. And guess what? The next week, I'm sure there's something. Because guess what? Number two, he's taking a chance. Number three, he's not prepared. He's all over, and we are jumping up and down. Am I making sense? So number one, don't undermine yourself. Touch your neighbor and say, don't undermine yourself. Number two, we don't know how much money is available. It's in Kotlin. Emsondoze municipality, he's in Patella Emsondoze municipality. Kuna was 670,000. Okay. In the former Peter Marisburg areas, in other words, in the suburbs, no Ashdown, excluding Kimba. No Sobank included now. There are 221,000 people. More at Timba than the greater Eaton Day, there's another 20 and something thousand people. So what am I saying to you? And then the point is, in Marisburg, there are 671,000 opportunities to sell to one person, at least to each person to sell a product here. Yeah. You have 671,000 opportunities to sell something to people. What is it that you can sell to them? What is it that you can, it can be a product, it can be a service, but you've got 670,000 people that you can sell to. Guess what? I'll find 1% one. The other 1% about 6,700. Am I making sense? So what can you say? Everyone, stand up, everyone. He is wearing a shirt, 200 francs. He's wearing a jean, 150, 200 francs. I don't know what in terms of he's wearing a material, 1,000 francs. So here is 1%. Also, he's wearing 1,500. Every one of you, I have to get 300 francs, 400 francs. Am I making sense? So there's something that you can say. Every one of you, ulambele. Every one of you ulambele something. Every one of you, every one of you needs something to eat. And if we have something to eat every day. At least 2 or 3 meals. So who is selling? Who is manufacturing? Who is making less into less? That's the question. Am I making sense, Namchad? Yeah. Okay. Every one of you needs a shelter. And that shelter, once in a while, again using the average of 700,000 people, using the average of 7, so assuming that 7 people per household, there is at least 90,000 households. Every household is a fixed one, it's a bender, it's a plumber, it's an electrician, it's an Am I making sense? So I'm saying Jews begin to think transactionally, their mind is conditioned in a particular way. I'm hoping by the time these sessions, your mind will be conditioned in a particular way. Of when you see people, let me tell you, when I fly over any city, anywhere, be selling this porn, I could be doing something, I could be selling something, because my mind is conditioned in a particular way.
Yeah.
Am I making sense? So when I see in location, because I see an opportunity to sell in the nest, I see an opportunity to sell in Canaan College, I see an opportunity to sell artisans, I see, because my market is black people. So when I see because I see money, I see hundreds of people or thousands of people I could be selling something to. What are you seeing when you see people? You should be seeing. I'm saying the Jews, they will be saying, if I don't sell to those people after having seen them, it's evil to do that. So number one, people don't do business or get into wealth creation because to perform Proverbs 13 verse 22 of creating wealth not just for their kids, but for their kids. So they undermine themselves. But number two, beyond undermining themselves, they don't see the brother, I could be selling it in again, I could be selling a t-shirt again, I could be isalon ukuthi ngihambe ngomshefa now brother mase ngishefile vele nempandla and then ngishaye ngerazor so kuyena eyedwa I see opportunity ukuthi ngimdayisele ngoba ngiyazi ukuyagcoba I see opportunity ukuthi ngimdayisele iNivea I see opportunity ukuthi ngimdayisele into zamakhwapha I see opportunity ukuthi ngimdayisele ianda ipenal pet or anything for that matter. Amen. When you see people see money on them, thank you, brother. So when you see people see money on them, when you see abantu but say, how can I sell to those people? And that's how the Jews think, and that's why the Jews are so successful. So the question is, are you going to change Nhlanhla? So number one, they don't go into business. Why? They undermine themselves. You think you tell something about undermining yourself? A fireman, a fireman, they enjoy water. Yeah. But fire, no one enjoys fire. Am I right, Mazara? A fireman, is each other I've got something, but anything can happen. I can be each other in a normal man. If better a man's pair or powder pair. Guess what? Now it's Sabbath Jumba inside. God the Umashu which if on the seaway. But if fear, I'm saying to you, get into it even of Sabbath. Get into it if fear equal. If fear is natural, we all must find opportunities at aim. Say, how do we overcome fear? By getting into it. Yeah. So number one, overcome that fear. So number two, understand how much money is available. In the entire district of Umkhumulov, there is about, which will include Richmond, will include Moy River, Impendle, etc. I think there was neighboring districts in Capadam. If you answer all those districts, there's about 1 million people. But as much here, it's far. Let's talk about opportunities in mind. What can we say in mind? I'll just give you an example. We've just had a very interesting meeting with two brothers. The one brother, akazoshiya emsebenzini, akazoresign emsebenzini, uthenga ikuta ezufona, yazazi ikuta? Ikuta. Okay? Its quota is about, okay, the entire transaction is about 80,000 rands or 4. So you can divide that by 4. It's about 20,000 seklangane, no GPS, no. Okay? Now guess, uzo supplier, uzo offerisha, the scooter and services, for Mr. Delivery. kushuthi ubani take a lot. Ngoba take a lot, we are deliver, we purchase a delivery and deliver. Guess what? We've just done the numbers. You'll be making on a bad month 5,000 rand per quarter. On a good month, this time I'm or 13,000 rand. Don't you want a business as a biggest return over 4 months? And then thereafter, you are now running. You are running a quarter, you are running a quarter. Muscle 4, can you see, is 25. Muscle, if you try until 5 minimum, and the maximum record is about 6.5. So on a good month, probably get busy. You know, he'll be making 25,000 rand. So 7,000. It's more like Uber, but you're cheaper in the form of investment. Or investor only 13,000 rand plus. It's about 17,000 to 18,000 rand. Am I talking to the right people?
Amen.
So when you can now start creating wealth by investing 20,000 rand on something. I'm not saying you're going to deliver. I'm saying you can do anything. Just start looking and pray, which was the yini and am I making sense? So you can start. I next month, but today. The issue is overcome that fear. The issue, start seeing people as money. Shija madunga bona bantu as strength, but bona bantu as money. Am I making sense? Now I want to tell you something. Abantu batatazela. Wealth is patient. Wealth is patient. In Ngcebo ayitatazela. And in Ngcebo ayitatazela. You've got to be patient. Umuntu uthi Khambule, you know 5,000 rand. Guess what? Mufuna into esheshayo. Angifuna ukusho but into esheshayo nayo izoshesha iphele. But a patient, wealth is patient. Touch your neighbor and say, wealth is patient. The process of creating wealth, idinga ubekezele. And the bekezeleni kwakho ungaconsume. Ungarush consume. You see, at 5,000 rand per profit, per 6,000 rand, depending on the land, must have 10, you're going to say 60. But you have to 10. Immediately. Also figure 10 as a grow. Must as well 20, you have to. But guess what? You don't start at 20. You color at 1, at 5, at 7, at 10, at 15, at 20, at 30, etc. Then you ultimately have a logistics company. My point to you is don't rush or prove or go successful. Sebezweni brother, kunje bayigama lakho? Sunday. Sebeze Sunday kune business. So wonke umuntu manje use-expect uSandile ukuthi athenge imoto. uSandile uzohamba uthenga i-GTI ngoba phela vele ibhenki selizomnikeza ngoba sekunani bazalwane sekunemali ngenayo. But uSandile could be taking le mali le athenga ngayo i-GTI engakuthenga ezinye imoto ezo-6.
Sure.
And then uSandile abekezele. Kuthi mayisende imali eningi when he is making 80,000, 100,000 rand profit. Nyangizwa bazalwane? Then ebese ake ngithenge noma igalofu not igalofu izona ndlovu. Awusekho sithi i10. And sayazothini ake ngihambe nje nge-i10. Ngikhule nayo i10 futhi second hand ina 80,000 kilometers. Ayibekezelele nayo ayithenga ngo-45,000 rand, 50,000 rand cash ngoba uno 80,000 rand awenza every month. Am I checking to the right people? And then guess what? Wena uyazi how much you are banking. And now you're saying, angisafuna ukuba ney'mpilo ezothenga. Sengifuna manje ukuba ne-logistics company. Because the future is about drones. Because you're not thinking now, but you're thinking future as well. So the future is about drones. I want to buy drones. But guess what? I've been saving 50,000 rand every month. Abanye abangani bakho bahamba ngemoto ezishaka. Bashaya imo-weight every weekend. Wena uthi nje yami uthi ngizozincengela ngale i10 yami. Uzincengele ngayo, ushaye ngayo. Guess what? Money will follow you. Because you are patient. Wealth is for patient people, not abantu abajaconsume. This, what I'm telling you now, is not for abantu abangasebenzi. It's for umuntu osebenzayo, but who thinks about wealth. I've actually invested 2. I will be investing 2. Good enough. If you look better, imali yokuthi ngifundise ingane e-university. Umasafika isikhathi sokuthi ziyakhona. In the next 15 years or maybe 8 years, yokuqala izobe ready. But imagine mangibeka 5,000-6,000 rand every month. Kusho kuzoba 60,000 rand ngenyanga. Ngiyabona manje ukhona ubona into enjoy. After 8 years of sekumalini, it's going to be a couple of million rands. Am I making sense? Guess what? Uma uthi umfana ufuna ukuyofunda phesheya. Do you think uzofika ukufunda phesheya? You know why? Because I'm thinking, well, I don't have to impress anyone. So number 4, be consistent. There will be tough times, but you have to be consistent. And if you have an example like against the nest, year 1 was tough. We had 19 learners, I had 11. But guess what? I had a vision. And you're going to have a vision. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it in year 2. Well, year 2, we got the 20-odd students. In year 3, we've got our 30 students. But guess what? Because abantu basembayo basibona inconsistency, that's why we already have quite a few learners already for next year as a register. You know why? Because I am consistent in pursuing the vision. There will be tough times, there will be good times, but you don't relent because the vision pulls you. You've got a bigger picture with. You know what the 30 Owens is not the ultimate. The ultimate is to have 1,000 and have 5,000 and have thousands and thousands everywhere. But the 30 is a learning curve. Like the brother Sunday, if he starts with 3 or 4, it will be a learning curve of the bigger picture that you'll be doing. And he will tell you, he's running a logistics company. He won't say, now Sunday, no, I'm helping to take a lot with the deliverance. No. I am running a logistics company because I am learning from doing take a lot in order to run my own logistics company. Am I talking to the right people? Yes. You look very tense. How are you doing this time? There's so much I want to say. So number 1, let's go back. Let me just give you another example. The 10 spies. The 12 spies. Moses. Ukuthi hamba yospaya yocheka uNkulunkulu sebatshela ukuthi izwe okay uNkulunkulu sekhuluma vision kusandla okay uNkulunkulu setshela hayi no izwe lelihle kukhuleka eleni. The 10 spies lalela ama 10 spies athini izwe lihle. All the 12 bashoda izwe lihle linabo konke okuhle lokhu uNkulunkulu asithembisela ukhona. Kodwa bawu10 bathi kodwa inkinga esinayo uNkulunkulu uthe ngiyokwenza njani izwe ngiyolidla ngithi okay kodwa laba bawu10 bathi yo amajayisi akhona bawabona kangakanani. Lalela into angasikhoboza njengama grasshoppers. Yini ama grasshoppers lesizwe njengey'tete thina sizintethe. Ubani okhuluma ngentethe bekuthiwa babheka intethe bonke. Am I making sense, Bazalwane? The brief was not about intethe. The brief was about how is the land? And they came back with the land is great, but Tina. So they began to perceive themselves in a particular way. Yeah. And that particular way was not great. The 2, but guess what? God spoke to us. They saw their God. God spoke to us. Lela lizwe lesesindile ngoba bona babambe izwi nokusho kukaNkulunkulu. In your instance, that's the vision and uNkulunkulu ophila kuwena ngaphakathi. Amen. Am I still making sense? Amen. So I'm saying to you, your vision noNkulunkulu ophila kuwena ningokuhlangana kwenu noba yi2. I can tell you ufana nomuntu ophethe engine fan. Ngiyakhumbula example engine fan. Ozothi noma esaba athi kodwa angisabe ngoba ngiphethe ini amanzi. Ngiyesaba kodwa ngizongena ngoba amanzi akhona. Uthembeni wena, uthembe uNkulunkulu ophila kuwena and uthembe ivision onayo ukuthi that vision will propel you and uNkulunkulu okuhamba nawe uzokuvikela ekwenzeni sure ukuthi le vision iyafulfilleka. Amen. So you have no reason not to pursue the opportunities. What are those opportunities? I'm sure I just gave one example of you take a lot. What are those other opportunities? Akhona mfundisi engawuphursuwa engizothi noma ngisasebenza ngikwazi ukuthi ngibe ngiqhubuza eceleni ngenze imali ngoba ngifuna ukushiyela iy'ngane zami imali. Angithi singakhumbula isikhathi sicele ngaso. Ngifuna ukushiyela iy'ngane zami imali. Now, what are those opportunities? The first opportunity, I'll just give you quite a few of them. I think it's this morning, I met someone today. I know he'll be watching a little bit later on the prayer. Who showed something very interesting. Which give me entertainment industry. Okay, no man but I'm just entertainment industry, and I want to make money here. And I said, you better make money because you want to make money in the entertainment industry. But just give you an example. In the entertainment, when I did to YouTube, I think it has. You know, also I'm followers on YouTube. I'm hundreds of thousands. Which people who are adverts here. So what content is available that you can draw from the township? What content can you draw from the township? That's just an example. Omunye was ukudlala ama-plays, omunye was uku-actor. Ngikhuluma nge-entertainment industry kuqala. Yini ongayenza nalelo khona lapho uNkulunkulu akunikeze lona? Loku-actor, noma lokucula, noma lokwenzani. So there are opportunities. Ama-townships amaningi anazo izindawo like kwaMashu kuNozana, eMsinga, konje yini lendlela eMsinga. Ngihlula ngisho nawo umsinga ninjani embala kho ngisho nayo. You know why? Ngoba akekho umuntu embala beneficial to pursue something in the entertainment industry. And guess what? There is a film commission in KZN, a pathway in the Department of Economic Development. Ezama ukunikeza abantu imali ukuze baqale ama-movies in KwaZulu-Natal. Guess what? Abekho abantu abayithathayo leyo mali KwaZulu-Natal. My next business, uma sengiqedile ngeyikole, ngiyafisa ukwazi ukuthi ikuphi. Iqaleni ngoba ngiyanikeza idea, i-plumbing. The biggest business, the richest white man in Durban, the richest mlungu eThekwini is running a plumbing business. Le oyibukela phansi ukuthi uthufu. Ngeke uzukwazi ukulala ebusuku. Bafu maqhuma uthufu ekhaya. Maqhuma ipayipi nje, unkosikazi ngeke uzulala. Uzokuxosha athi hamba ufuna umuntu ozokwazi ukuthi guess what? Uma umfuna lo muntu uzokutshela 1500 ukuthi ungawari ngeprice, woza uzolungisa. Ngoba uyanuka la uqhumeni uthufu. It is one of the most lucrative businesses, but it is the most undermined business. It's it. Next week, Kizolipa some more insight on the plumbing businesses. I want 5 people about the plumbing businesses. I don't think about plan. So I'm here to plan. I don't think about plan. Tell plumber. For the training companies, other qualified plumber, and say, give me 5 qualified plumber, 1 qualified plumber, because on a business line. What can you do well? You can just buy a parking at 20,000 rand and say, when are you going to be a plumber? You own 40% of this business. I own 60%. I'm a financer of this business. What are you going to do? So for any opportunities, social media is so powerful of which. So powerful. And what are you doing? You open opportunities for Lomodulo. I have 11 opportunities, and we are pushing social media. We are locals and say, I'm running plumbing businesses, and we tell abantu, we are having government. I've got a plumbing business. Magnama Estates, Akona, I've got a plumbing business. We tell abantu basisi, we tell abantu basewan, I've got a plumbing business, etc., etc. Guess what? I invite a pair, and everywhere I've got a plumbing business. Once they know you've got a plumbing business, what are you going to do? They're going to call you. It doesn't take overnight. The millions overnight. Don't expect to be the richest person in Mbali overnight. You will, but it takes time. And another thing, if the way you should little feel microwave. Yes, I'm I want to send that microwave to a black person who's a very career. That's probably 150 to 200 rand for the person on a VI. Guess what? That's what you put me down the time. What the repella? So she, what's the show? She, so you check. Got it down the time and put me there with you. Domestic appliances. Shout and say domestic appliances. These are the things that's not dingy. Wena ukuthi ube qualified kwala zidinga wena ukuthi ucarry vision. Uyasebenza ayizokuphazamisa. I-domestic appliances ayithengiswa nemoto udinga ukuthi ube nendawo la uzothi khona ngicela ukukhandela ngecontainer nje yodwa ubeke icontainer somewhere la uzoyibeka khona we-doing domestic appliances. Guess what? Thina asikuba type into yakho seyibuyisa same asigcina ngoba awufuni izojojo. Or wena you're gonna have a mobile domestic appliances business. Uzohamba uyenze nabantu. Guess what? You need someone. I don't think nobody expertise. You usebenzisa social media to sell. Ufanele umuntu one expertise. Ufeni microwave Sipho ngicela uhambe uye Khambule kufa microwave ufike ucheck so charge 300 rand usho standard ukuthi kufeni minimum charge 300 rand Mrs. Khambule ngize noma cha hayi izo kuba sefuna microwave Sunday isebenza ku Sunday ufike ukhande and then let's no ama parts ayimele la ungabo prepared. But the point is these are the things as a demand in your areas. Every household idinga ukhandela. Every person udinga ukugqoka. Every person udinga ukudla. Every person udinga into azodla nayo iponi. You can sell everything that you can sell to them. Just to give you one last example, plants and allow for questions. Just to give you one last example, like something siqale 2 weeks ago, ukuthi sibone imoto lezi downstairs as a market yabafana basendaweni ukuthi benze njani yokuthi basigese. Can you see? There was a market at home, but our eyes were not opened to see that market. And the boys underway are making a few hundred rands every week. They can now feed themselves, clothe themselves, or do whatever about the money. But the point I'm making, everywhere you go, there's money available. What do you need to do? You need to pray about it. You need to see people as money. Wonke umuntu khona mayihamba ingebe la nje nawe ngoba ithe kuphini kodwa mhlambe ikhona back mhlambe ikhona kulethe. But mangiphuma la njoba sengilambeni I'm probably going to go out and buy something to eat. So ngizoyithenga leyo. Ngizoyithenga somewhere. And I should be buying it from you. You should be saying, I want to position myself. So go away and start thinking about opportunities that are available. Usasebenza. I'm saying when usasebenza. Use the money yakho manje. Can you see what the creation kanjani? Uzothatha le mali oyiholayo ubeka 2,000 rand njalo ngenyanga. Until the end of the year, you got 25,000 rand. Angithi bazala? 25,000 rand uyazi ukuthi next year ngifuna ukwenza ibusiness. Le business ilona engizokwakha ngalo ingcebo. Angizokwakha ama-millions ngoba immediately, but ultimately you will get there. Don't rush. Be patient. Be consistent. I hope you've learned something this evening. God bless you. There's so much I can tell you. Khona amanye ama-businesses la ngobhale sengitshela next week omakhenika. Yazi bafuthi ngenze lesibonelo nje embali. Ayikho indawo yokukhenika izimoto ehloniphekile. We all have a crash. Kodwa yikho akekho kade okay ngingathi akekho ngimbonile or ne crash enjenge Seven Nest. Am I making sense? There are a lot bakhona abantu abakhanda imoto emali kodwa akekho ozothi I specialize with VW na with Toyota na with Hyundai and hamba uqasha abantu abana experience yaka Hyundai, experience yaka Toyota, na experience yaka VW abalethe la akade basebenza khona and then abe nendawo ehloniphekile hayi ebizayo ehloniphekile enhle abe nemishini emihle. Guess what? People basebenza support. That's the problem. No one thinks about that. There is a market of 200,000 people in the greater Italy, 250,000, a quarter of a million people. Guess what? The traffic is bona, a frustrator excel. Yona funa ngabo bona imali kuyona. Leya moto le ikhanda ubani. Iyahamba edolobheni. Ubani ushita amathaya. Bayathenga itheka kwethu edolobheni. Ubani wenza ukuthi ubani wenza ukuthi. And I always I've never met Umthembu, but I admire what Umthembu. If Umthembu sends what is done lapha ngaseKrosini. He's done a beautiful professionally run business. You can come to you go and buy there. We always thinking small, as in like painfully small. And people I'm not going to support you because you are painfully small. Yes, I support support you because I WM. So I support you because what you are running is great and professional. Get the best teachers, more on the crash. Get the best teachers. We got the best. Cheryl, she's the best. More on the school, Kenan College, we got a principal from Sentin, one of the best schools in the country. We said, no, we're getting the best. And we had the best. Whatever you do, you don't just do because I'm black. The black people don't just even pay a supplier in market, a bottom end of the market, but they are professional run. So, ungasitshela ukuthi asikusupport because you're black. Sitshela ukuthi asikusupport because you're running a professional outfit. So run a professional outfit. Running down, that is so great that even umuntu oqhamba outside, we've got members here downstairs who are coming from outside and by busy, etc., etc. Abasuka ngaphandle, but because we know which education is in the nest is great, we want to support you. And that's what I'm asking. I'm begging you to begin to take these opportunities, but when you take them, run them professionally. Don't do it for the sake of no, it's got nothing to do with me. It's for yourself. It's for your creation of wealth. Wealth is in your head. Wealth is within you. I think if women have inner beauty, and if women have inner beauty, men have inner money. You understand what I'm saying? But what is interesting now is what maybe umuntu ade ibhalo benaqondile. But mina ngithe we do have inner money, but we have not discovered it. Lo ade ibhalo beqonda ukuthi beyijoke. Ukuthi if women are beautiful on the inside, not on the outside, men will have inner money as well. Guess what? I'm saying yes. Men have inner money and women have inner money too, but they have not discovered it. See money when you see people. See money when you see cars. See money more when it means and say, what can I offer to these people? God bless you. Thank you. Can I take questions? In 7 minutes. Any questions? So nyazi sobolesana kancane. Ayikho imbozo. Yebo ma.
Sanibonani bazalwane. Sanibonani bazalwane. Ngibingelele baba umfundisi ngokukhethekile. Baba ngicela ukubuza lana ekutheni mawune business. Mhlambe uma seliqala ukukhula usasa kancenzini kakhulu ngoba uma nicabange yena nje ubona ukuthi mhlawumbe ngisebenzela uSARS.
Khona omunye umbuzo bazalwane? Let's take more questions. Okay. Ngiyasaba. Can see khona abafuna ukubuza kodwa bayasaba. Okay. The truth is, as a business elikhula, uSARS naye uzoqala ukufuna imali yakhe uma selengaphezu kwa R1 million turnover. Okay? I-VAT uqala. Mayenze profit, whatever the percentage of profit, I think 29%, etc., etc. So there's nothing you can do. But guess what? You're making more money. So uSARS akathathi i-turnover, uthatha i-profit. So in other words, always a profit of 1 million rand, and you never uSARS 200,000 rand, you're still left with 700,000 rand profit. So asingasabi ukunikeza uSARS imali yakhe ngoba you're still making 700,000 rand. Charge on the turnover or charge on the profit. So whatever or you'll be paid it based on the profit. If it is VAT values on yakho. So more charge up 10 rand, bese ueda VAT ka 15 ka 150. 150 abono wakho udlulisele vele uSARS. But now when it comes to profit, the truth is, if Uguti was a profit ka 10 million rand, you have to pay SARS 3 million rand. Imali yakhe, it was the ones that services. But you're still left with 7 million rand. So SARS started 29%, am I right? 29%, and you're left with 71%. It's a lot. It's actually a lot. Yes, brother. Kuluma nje bora hapa nake.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps so makhona bazokubona. Yeah, nasa.
Yeah, cha kwami a comment.
Yes,
Kahle bengena sure ukuthi umuntu ebezele namhlanje ubhuti wami uThabiso and futhi wangi-invite and ngingasho ukuthi kuningi engikutholile kodwa engifuna ukusho ukuthi I'm part of incubation of social entrepreneurship.
That's right.
With the University of Cape Town.
That's right.
Business school at the moment, and we're dealing with entrepreneurship and training startup businesses.
Wow.
So into engizabukuyisho mfundisi ukuthi lento atukhuluma ngayo it's directly aligned into esifundayo. Yeah, so
I'm glad khona umuntu atemaka ngesikhathi sokukhuluma. Thank you. Thanks so much. Isikhathi sethu siphelile. We still have 3 more minutes. Makhona umuntu nombuzo. Ningasabi nje, just ask a question. Enige vraag. Ja, khuluma mfowethu. Yeah, wena nje ufuna ukusho something. Yes, khuluma so. When one like can raise the voice.
Ngicela ukubuza la. Ngiyizwa ugovernment ngohlelo lama-leadership wasitha. Kunemali ehlezi ibuyela emuva government sitha kungayisebenzisanga. Ukuze sithole amathuba okuyisebenzisa le mali, iliphi business kumele ngiyenze because kunama-leadership enziwayo ongazi ukuthi kumele ujoyine kanjani ukuthi ustart leadership.
Okay. Kunama-sitha zawo 23 mangaprocess, 22, 23 somewhere lapho. So kuna wholesale and retail, relevant to abantu abasebenza kwi-wholesale retail space, emaphoyisa, ne-defense force, nabo baneyabo. Ibizwa nge-security and something, khona government, the public seat, peace sector, every sector in the sector yayo. So one is to define ukuthi iyiphi area ofuna ukuthi utrain kuyona. I think that's something very important. Once you are defined ukuthi iyiphi area ofisa utrain kuyona, whether ufuna utrainer abantu on which sector, it could be njengoba ngisho sectors ahlukene, police, security, local government, it can be any sector. Go and do research ukuthi iyiphi sector ofisa ungena kuyona. But once you understand ukuthi iyiphi sector ofisa ungena kuyona, then apply for accreditation. Okay? And then as a training provider, then you get accreditation. And the process is not very expensive. People think it's yes, it may take a little bit of time, a few months, maybe 3 months, 6 months, etc. But I said to look share as manje kusabe isikhathi esingakho. Once you get the process accreditation, then you apply. There are 2 things ongazenza. Either apply with a discretionary grant and then generally once or twice a year for that particular SETA, or uhamba uyakuleyo site ufuna ukusebenza kuyona lesentla ufuna ukusebenza nge-wholesale and retail, uyahamba ey'tolo ze-wholesale and retail uyobatshela ukuthi hayi mina am-accredited, ngicela ukuthi le-staff sale, or ngicela ukuthi ngenze i-application nani ukuze ngikwazi uku-accessa imali from the SETAs ngoba you are the levy payers. And that's how we can do it. So there are 2 ways. It's either sebenza nge-levy payer or when abantu laba abakuleyo sector leyo abakhokha ama-levies, or uyalinda mosithola accreditation ukwazi ukuthola i-discretionary grant funding. That's how it works. Thank you. Next week, ngifisa ukuthi i-assignment engicela ukunikeza ngeke ngikubuze, don't worry, ngeke ngikutheke uzosubmit i-assignment ecaca. Just do an assignment and say, what can you sell to people? What can I sell to people? What can I sell? You know, it is about. It can be a product, it can be a service. If you don't see an opportunity, remember, we're operating like the Jews in Nhlanhla. It's evil not to see an opportunity when you've got people. Start looking at opportunities. What can I sell to this person? When you're walking home, see opportunities. When you're walking M17, Escole, see opportunities. When you're going to your colleagues, see opportunities. What exactly? But guess what? Above all, ask God, guide, a business. The examples I was making were just examples. The most important thing is which when ubheka into oskilled kuyona. Number 2, ubheka ukuthi uNkulunkulu ubizekeni. Number 3, ubheka ukuthi uNkulunkulu ufuna wenzeni. And every one of us has a skill anaso esandleni sakhe, and that skill is your mind. If you must execute, guess what? You lose money. And God will force you to execute. It is you and that conviction. It's him that ngena nomusaba, like a fireman, get him. And because of our humble riper, and God is on the side. So what are you going to do next week? Is on Fundisa. So you've got 6 days to apply your mind. What businesses can you start? What businesses can you think of? Idea? Just think of an idea only. Next week I want to teach you how to convert that business idea into a business. I'm going to take you through the 6-step processes. As is Ufana, so there's a lot of examples on the land, on examples on the services business, and examples on the actual product business. Can I just give you one example? My wife has a business at the airport. I want you to learn something. She has a business at the airport. The airport in AXA, his name is AXA, Airport Company South Africa. Okay? That business relies on mobility 5-year term. So it didn't AXA Akipitenda, Utendarisha. Okay, they've just renewed no longer by 10, they renewed it for another 3 years. It's a great business. Really great. I love it. But it gets a point, there are certain things Anga says. I guess sitting in Nhlanhla. I guess after 3 years, who AXA. And the business has been operating since 2010. I guess to AXA, I ran a new contract after 3 years. What's going to happen to the business? I'm sure you can answer that. This is a business. This offer. Okay? But is that fair? A business has been owned since 2010, and then in 3 years' time, it will be 2022. Okay? In 2020, 2021, 22. In 2022, this will be selling 12 years in business. Every business person might do, oh, so what does she need to do? There are 3 things of nonsense. What does she need to do? I want to challenge you. What does she need to do? She needs to make the business strong online. social media. So the business is not relying on the physical. Number 2, upscale the business and must be in other areas like arming and arms. Am I making sense? Okay. So social media, number 1. Number 2, online, because that's different. What's your website? And then number 3, upscale the business to be somewhere else as well. Engagekile kwitenda because the government drop her out, drop her anytime. So run your business, but have a bigger picture, and that's what she's busy with as we speak now. My point only is you start something, but don't wait. It's eside ungayireplicate because you run a risk. If anything happens, kule sindawo yodwa ekuyona business yakho, the next business, so the opportunity yokuthi ife izoba nkulu if ihlele endaweni yodwa, even if it's a mall lapha eSouth, even if it's a gateway, mayisendaweni eyodwa mhlawumbe tuyishile i-gateway, you are in trouble. Mhlawumbe kuthiwa ungena amanzi, okay, amanzi angcono, mhlawumbe kuthiwa i-gateway ishile, we are in trouble because it will mean the end of the existence of that business. But the probability of a gateway going in a pavilion, it's very low. So effectively, you need to replicate your business so that you are able to mitigate that risk. I hope you've learned something. These are practical examples. So next week, we're going to be teaching you how to move your your business. I'll just give you, even if you don't volunteer, you can, but I will just give you examples. How do you take it from a business idea to becoming a concept? And that's what we're here for, to advise you, to guide you. But above all, God must be on your side. Because the sky is the limit. Even the sky is not the limit. So God bless you. Amen.